Eli Tomac, you're back. We've only got 2 questions, which is difficult because there's a lot to cover. How was the prep? I heard that to begin with, maybe there was a little more pain than expected, but obviously that's all good now. Where are you at?
Yeah, I was hoping to catch the last couple of Supercross, like from the initial injury and just looking at paper. But then, of course, you start riding and you're like, okay, if I have to go hit a Supercross triple, I'm still going to fill this right now. So I stuck to the motocross track, and overall, it's fine now. But yeah, at first, initially, it was a little bit slow, but now it feels fine, strong, and ready to go.
In the last 1,000 days, you've done 4 outdoor races. Does that concern you at all? I feel like potentially that would be a bigger issue than coming back from an injury. Because the heat, like, although you're used to it your entire life, there's still an adjustment period after some time off, right?
I'm going to say no. I feel like motocross has gotten easier as I've gotten older, and just being better with endurance.
Right.
Basically man strength.
Right.
So I'm going to say that I'm going to be okay. Yeah, like I'm looking forward to it. I feel strong, like, dude, I'm fit, and I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm motivated for it. It's tough to come into this Alpha Supercross series, and I'm not doing that. Like, I'm chomping at the bit to go race. So I'm looking forward to the summer of pain.
One quick bonus question. There's no way you expect outdoors to get easier as you get older, right? That is a surprise that somehow you're in this position.
Well, like I said, it's outdoors when you're 17, 18, 19, dude, it is tough. So I think I know what to expect.
Yeah, Cooper Webb, first things first, does it piss you off that people discredit how much you're into outdoors or how much you want to be here? Because you've said it enough now that, like, you're motivated for this, blah, blah, blah. But still, people are questioning it, and I don't think anyone buys it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and that's fair, right? I think I need to prove myself and prove that, but I definitely wouldn't be here if I wasn't motivated. You know, we have nowadays options in our contracts, and yeah, full seasons for this year and next year. So I think for me, it's I'm healthy this year. I wasn't able to be healthy last year, which was a big reason I didn't race last year. And like I said up there has been years that I've chosen not to do it. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm fired up. Obviously, fortunately or unfortunately, whatever way you want to look at it, it's a freaking stacked field, and there's a lot of badass riders. So you know, I think for me, even just top 10s are going to be gnarly. And I want to get better than that. You know, I think when I come to form and get some races under my belt, I can be up in that top 5. I really do. So yeah, I think for me, I just want to get out there, get some racing going. It's my first season outdoors with the Yamaha, and I think they have a great bike. So yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be.
In a super weird way, is it nice to have this different challenge where Supercross, if you don't win, you're pissed. That is literally the only option. Here, maybe you're happy with a third. Like, does that add a bit more enjoyment into the process?
It does, man. I think, you know, just in general, when I reflect on, I've been working 4 years to get that Supercross championship. You know, that's been my goal. So to achieve that, it's almost like I can enjoy racing again, as bad as it sounds. And I enjoy racing, don't get me wrong, but the pressure and the stress and just that burden of winning again has kind of been lifted. So for me, this is almost a cherry on top to go have a good summer and get some solid results. And like I said, if I could sneak on the podium, you know, throughout the season, that would be like a win for me. And you never know, you know, I've only won one outdoor before, so I'd love to add to that, don't get me wrong, but there's a bunch of really, really great riders right now. So I also want to set myself up well for the SMX stuff now. That's another championship in itself, and I think if I can have a good summer, then that's going to put me in a good position to do well there as well.
Last thing, and just to clarify, you said in Birmingham that although the thumb did get injured in December, it doesn't need surgery, it could have needed surgery, still the same situation, right?
Yep, and I think there's been some rumors and stuff, but yeah, basically in December it was kind of 50-50 on if I needed surgery, and luckily it healed on its own, and I haven't, knock on wood, had any issues with that, so yeah, no plans of surgery. You know, I know that was a rumor kind of going around, so yeah, I'm healthy, and yeah, obviously lacking some motocross experience and seat time and testing. But with that being said, like I said, I want to try to build throughout the summer. And once we head east, I think that's where hopefully I'll start being a bit more competitive.
Okay, Jason Anderson, first things first, good to see you back.
Yep.
Was it always a plan to be here when you initially dropped out of Supercross? Was this a certainty?
No. I for sure had to get a lot of my health stuff in order. That was first and foremost, and then obviously I didn't know how long that was going to take. And luckily, like a month and a half, I was able to get back on the motorcycle. But then you have health issues, and then you cram all this training into like 3 weeks. So it's kind of hard to maintain, just be ready. And I feel like I needed to be at the first round at least.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just like, I can do 2 motos, but like then the next day I'm worked, But I'm still having to ride, 3 days in a row and go through the blisters and everything. But yeah, I'm somewhat ready.
Do you feel like you've maybe done too much then? Maybe it would have been better to have a gradual plan leading up to this?
Yeah, well, a gradual plan, if I would have done it like normal, I would have probably only ridden like, I don't know, 5 times, So I just needed bike time a lot. And I needed to get my bike better to be able for it to be easier on me. And so it was a lot of riding, but it's kind of what I wanted to do to make myself feel good about coming back to racing.
The health stuff allowed you to kind of hit the ground running when you got back on the bike then? It didn't hold you back first couple of weeks?
It didn't hold me back, but my heart was for sure fresh. So when I got back on the bike, my heart rate was high, and but I felt recovered.
Look, no one ever looks at you like an outdoor guy. Everyone knows you love Supercross. Where's the motivation out for this summer?
I mean, as much as people say I'm not an outdoor guy, I've been on the podium a lot in the 450 class and outdoors. So I mean, for me, I'm not like expecting myself to light the world on fire, go at round 1. But I have a lot of tracks where I do really well on, like Washougal or like a Budds Creek, that I definitely feel I could be fit enough by then to be able to pester them up there in the 1 through 3 spots.
And what about your future? There's been a few rumors about next year, but do you have any idea what direction it's kind of going? Is that part of the reason you're back now?
I mean, probably about as much as I know. I mean, I want to keep racing. I have opportunities to race, but at the same time, I definitely want to be on a factory program. That's something that I'm pretty adamant about, and if I'm not, I would rather just not.
Yeah.
But I do have opportunities on factory programs, and we'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, you're not interested in going racing for 10th. That's not worth the time, the effort, the grind for you.
Yeah, like even if I'm racing for 10th or whatever, I need to be on a program that has the resources to be able to develop the bike to be better for me to get better. So I'm looking for a team with a whole package, and just like Cowie's offered me for the last 4 years, it's been amazing. And I honestly, I could be where I'm at or I couldn't be where I'm at. I have no idea right now.
RJ Hampshire, this surgery, I really felt like the chances of you being stood here were super slim. So is it kind of a miracle that you've made it to the start of Pro Motocross, or was this always an option?
No, I mean, man, how Salt Lake ended, like I was so fired up, like I was ready to go racing the next day. So I almost changed the plans, but all along we said no matter what happened Saturday night, I was going in for surgery, Monday morning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had 2 screws that backed out at Alabama. I'll never remember. I got on the podium, and I was pretty bummed, all night, just because I knew something was wrong. Then I found out after Philly, I re-broke my wrist. So that first turn crash for the red flag, it's re-broken. So then, of course, we had surgery planned, and then my surgeon called me Sunday night before I went in, and it's like, hey, look, there's a good chance that we take this plate out in your bones completely in half, and we just leave it in there, or we take half the bone out with it. But the chances that you might be able to race here in 2 weeks are going to be slim. I was like, well, what's the long term look like? Like, what's the best case? And we all agreed that taking the plate out and also taking half the bone out was the best, long term decision. It's like I've never had someone come back in 2 weeks, but if anyone can do it, you can. So let's see. And I just told myself, literally coming out of surgery, like, look, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen. And lived in a hyperbaric, at his tank therapy place every day, and yeah, did a little bit of riding this week, and it was like, hey, look, I can be competitive this weekend. So yeah, I'm here. I mean, I'm not gonna light the world on fire, but I'll be pretty good. I think maybe I might get a whole shot, or I'll be up there. My starts have been awesome on this 450. Getting the motos might be a struggle, but also it's important to get going with the season. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm here, ready to race.
Is there a part 2 to this surgery coming up? Like, is this a temporary fix, or should this see you through the rest of your career?
Well, see, that's the thing is we kind of skipped a step because the next step was taking the plate out and leaving the bone in there broken and hoping that it would just heal. And then the next step would be taking half the bone out and then seeing how it is. Well, I'm at that point now where, like, we took it all out. We're going to see how it is. If it does still bother me, there's a good chance I don't finish the outdoor season and we get this fixed, so I'm 100% ready for next year. But he was pretty confident. He's like, look, there's no way it's going to be worse than what you just dealt with. Like, it's even with just the plate out, leaving the bone in there broken, it's not going to be worse. So I'm pretty confident. I mean, this is going to last me throughout my whole career, like the rest of my career. But yeah, next step would be partial fuse with complete removal of the bone. But I don't think that's going to be necessary. Like, I'm in a good spot. It's a little tender around the incision right now. My stitches got out yesterday. So, yeah, we race dirt bikes. So, I mean, what do you expect, man?
Last question, and maybe dumb question. This is the start of your 450 career. Does it feel special? Does it feel like a bit of a dream, or is it just another race?
Man, I feel really good on the bike. Like, and that's what kind of sucks. Like, before Salt Lake, man, I rode the 450 a lot, did a lot of motos, and man, I love it. Like, I just feel so much more comfortable on it, like smoother. I don't know, I just can do what I want. Man, we'll see. I think by the time High Point comes around, I'll be strong and can really kind of show what I can do on a 450. Don't take too much from these first couple, but also, man, like I said, I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't be competitive. It's the same way my team feels about it. So throw me out there and I'll figure it out. Figured it out all season long in Supercross and almost had a championship. So yeah, put me in this position. I kind of excel whenever people don't expect it. So we'll see.